Oh my gosh. Okay, hey, welcome everybody. I'm just having some trouble with my earphones here, so we'll get straightened out here. But um, but welcome, welcome to this live run through of an exciting new virtual instrument from Waves, and we're just going to take some time and just sort of go through some of this. And I was going to do this. I was going to actually do this last Monday when they first released it, but Windows decided it wanted to had different ideas. So I've spent the past week just about getting my Windows reinstalled. And those of you who ever have experienced that, you know what a pain that is. So, but let's get on with it. And if you're watching live, as we just do this run through, I want to just go ahead and see if you can just leave a comment or something in the chat. And I'll just check that and see if I can show you something if I'm not covering it all. But this is really pretty cool. This is the new plugin from Waves. And when I first saw it, it was like, it's $29, and one of the things is that they said, well, this is recorded from in the same studio they did Adele and Hello and some different recordings and things, and so I was really curious. I was especially curious about the fact that they were introducing it at that price point of $29. So that really fascinated me. So let's go ahead and let's take a look. And when you see the plugin, you notice that well, first of all, let me just show you that you have to download a couple of libraries. It's a huge library. You've got a choice of doing the HD samples or the SD, the standard definition or high definition sample, and so. The high definition samples are around 16 gigs. And so when I first loaded this up, it was like I knew right away that I was going to, first of all, have to have some storage space. But then, second of all, when I loaded it the first time, it was like, man, I've got to put it on a faster drive. So fortunately, I had a solid state drive that I usually keep my plugins and data on. So I moved everything over there, and it was much happier, the load times. Now, what makes this really kind of a cool virtual piano is that this piano is just I think it's based on the Fazioli. It's a beautiful piano that has a really interesting characteristic. It kind of has a little edge on it sometimes, but yet it can still be a little mellow as well. But what I thought was fascinating is that it's one piano, but you get all of these different mic positions that you can use. So let's just jump right in. And then when you first load it up, you have to, extract it and extract all the samples, find a good place for those. And then, you can browse and tell it where you're going to locate the samples. Then you go in to your preferences. And this is where you'll set up your okay, so it looks like we've got, when you're doing live streaming and different things, okay. Sometimes you run into, so I'm just going to close this. Let's restart it again. Okay. Okay, here we go. So we've got our preferences, and I'm using a virtual mixer audio router that that it that actually helps route all my audio together. It's called Voice Meter, and it's really a fabulous way of doing this, taking virtual inputs and outputs. But when you're pushing all of this live stuff, it kind of puts a strain on it. So here we go. So here is where you set your controls for your audio and your MIDI, and then you can save that, for the next time. So let's go ahead, and I'm just gonna load up. So right here, let's just see. I've got the velocity curve set at linear. I've got a Studio 88 controller, so it's a little heavier. So I kind of like to adjust that curve a little bit. So that's where you do that. And so here are the 3 slots for your mic positions. And for those of you that are watching us on the YouTube live, you can comment and we can get this going. But thanks for joining us if you're watching us live. And so you have 3 slots for mic positions, and there's 8. They give you 8 different mic positions here. So this is the condenser 87 close. Then you've got dynamics and ribbon microphones in the room, the player position, medium position, or none. So you can actually, to empty out the other one. So let's go ahead and just do the close position first of all, and let's just see how this sounds, and we'll go through some of the other settings as we go along. You can just hear that rich sound, and but then it's got that really nice bite up at the top there, and I can see my screen's kind of covering up some of the. I'll just move it over a little bit because you're more interested in seeing the plug-in instead of seeing me. So. Just really nice. And you gotta, hello, it's me. And that's just a really nice general mic position. So let's go over here and let's just try that. Okay, now so you have different mics here, and you also notice, let's just look back to the different positions. So you can notice that how these are recorded, and with different mics, different setup, and it makes a big difference in the sound. Yeah, and it's got a compressor on here. I'm just going to turn it all the way, turn the compression off. Yeah, and so let's look at another mic position, and like I said, you've got a compression. So let's just dial it up so you can hear what happens. It can really squash. So you can slam it pretty hard. And what helps, why that's useful is you can really get that piano to just really sound really tight in your mix here. You've got an EQ section, and the cool thing about when Waves comes out with a plug-in, they bring together like a lot of their other history. You've got this, years of plug-in development history with compressors and EQs and dynamic effects. And so when they come out with a plug-in like this, they sort of incorporate some of that into the instrument, so which is really pretty cool. So let's go ahead and go on, and let's go to the room mic. And you see it's loading there, and I'm using the HD samples just because I want you to hear how nice this piano sounds. So here you see the room mics, so it gives you an idea of exactly where they recorded the piano when they were sampling it. And you'll tell a difference. You can tell a difference in this now. So you hear that little bit, you hear that room. Man. Yeah, so that just really gives you some more choices on what you use. Okay, let's keep going. Okay, so now this is some condenser microphones. And it's set at the player position. I'm going to, again, turn the compression down a little bit. And this sound, this is R&B and pop for sure. Just that bite. One of my favorite pianos to play live is, of course, the C7, the Yamaha C7, because it just has that punch and that bite. But this kind of reminds me of that. It's just got that little attitude, little edge, but you can calm it down. Yeah, very nice sound there. So let's keep going. Let's use the condenser. See, now they've got the pair of condensers out there in the room. And, I'll show you in a little bit what... But you can hear the quality of the recordings that they just really took some care in recording this piano. It's beautiful. So now these are some ribbon microphones, and you'll notice the placement here is right in the middle of the piano. So let's take a listen to that. So what you get there is you get a softer sound. So the mics are not over the hammers here, which give you a more percussive and bright sound. It's just a real soft, but still pretty direct sound there. And ribbon microphones are really, really beautiful sounding. Sorry. So you don't get all that percussive, so it sounds a lot warmer. And let's look at the reverb section while we're here. You have a nice, and it's a convolution reverb, so they actually have sampled the room sounds, which is cool. So that we can drop down here. So you have like a medium stage, hall, empty hall, some kind of echo verb that is synchronized to your DAW's beats per minute. You have and we'll just kind of run through some of these just so you can hear the difference. And let's choose let's just choose a condenser player. Just kind of get a nice upfront sound so you can kind of hear what the effects are doing. So here's the echo verb. Okay, so you can see where that could go. And see, since that's synced to your DAW, it'll just go right it'll just go right to it. So okay, so let's see, multi effects BPM. So you got a chorus and some flangers going on. So the rates of the delays, and you can kind of hear what's going on. Real nice. That's pretty cool. Okay, and let's go back to a ribbon in the medium, and let's pull up a nice recording studio. And you have controls over the dry and wet mix, how long the tail of the reverb's gonna last, the pre-delay, the time, size of the room, all of that. The high shelf, the master volume. Then you have a hard limiter here. You could limit the volume. So let's just hear what that sounds with the medium ribbon mics. Just saw a little bit of La La Land on the plane, and that's kind of reminiscent of that. Just a real nice, warm. Do you see how it changes the dynamics? You can, or you can. But see, you don't have that bite, that attack, which is kind of nice. It helps sometimes. Pretty cool. Okay, so let's just keep going here. Condensers medium. Let's just check that out. And the condensers pick up a little more of the edge. Oh, yeah. Okay. So let's put that in a hall. That kind of is more, or cathedral. Ah, yes. Yes, let's put that in a cathedral and see what happens. You hear all those nice? Now this is just on a a Core 2 Duo i5 Intel. I've got 16 gigs of DDR3 RAM, and it's I think it's running a Z77 motherboard. So, but I'm really impressed that even running all the video stuff and the mixers and things that. I'm not getting any crackling and that kind of thing. And also using a PreSonus VSL22, PreSonus USB 22 VSL 2-channel USB interface for all of this. And well, see, let's take that out of the cathedral. Let's put that into a little empty hall or a medium stage. Let's just take a listen. Just get a little attitude, you know. And that's what those condensers bring to the mix. Okay, so now that is just using one mic position. So they give you some presets here. Let's see, in concert. Let's see what happens with. Look here. So now we've got all 3 mic positions utilized. The condenser close, the dynamic close, and then the ribbons in the room. So let's hear what that sounds like. And we're still in an empty hall. And you hear some. And you have some release noises here. So let me just turn these up. You got a pedal release noise. That sounds lovely. So you can adjust that. And then the key up sound. So I'm just going to turn all the way up so you can hear how it affects it. So that just adds a little bit of those little realistic touches. It's almost like when a drummer is doing all those ghost notes, you can't really detect it too much, but you can feel what it does. Yeah. And you have a control over the mix. You can mute, so you can just hear the room, and you can, adjust how much of each set of microphones is, comes in, and you can actually adjust the delay. So. Because you get some delay between like the room microphones and then the closer microphones. Of course, there's a little slight delay there. And then there's a sustained resonance. What that is so when the sustain pedal's pressed down, it lifts the dampers on all the strings. So it gives you like the effect of how the other strings are affected when you're hitting one. So I'm just going to exaggerate it again. Turn it all the way up here. And you kind of hear what that sounds. So it gives you more of a sense of, it's almost, I don't know if they've used convolution reverb principles with the sustained resonance, but but it just kind of gives you an idea of if the strings that you're playing, how it affects the other strings that are not damped, because it's going to cause those to be excited when you play those other strings. And so you don't want it, you just want it to, again, to be kind of subtle. Yeah, very nice. Very nice. So pretty much that's what you have. It's just a very it's almost like they are doing, just focusing on doing one thing very well, and that's just bringing you this beautiful instrument uh, to and for $29. And then there are places, plugindiscounts.com, some different ones, different retailers that are Waves authorized retailers. There's some specials. I think everyplugin.com, something like that. If you do some searching, you can find lots of different deals going on. But I mean, and even just check out the demo before you purchase it. But if you have several pianos already in your library, you can't go wrong with something as beautiful as this. I'm very impressed. And my favorite, my go-to piano is usually like the Monarch Piano Tech. I love that instrument, but this really comes close to to being right up there with my favorite. So so I hope you've enjoyed this live video. And you can tell it's live because I'm getting a phone call. But if you have any questions, even after watching the video, please in the comments just let me know, and I will sure be glad to answer any questions if I can. But pretty much, I mean, you just can't go wrong with something as beautiful as this. So let's just load another preset just to see. Concert Grand. Just the air. You can just feel that air, and you can control that. You can. And I'm a big stickler on dynamics, but you can hear. I mean, that is the Waves Grand Rhapsody VST. So hope you enjoyed watching, and subscribe. And you never know what we're going to come up with next. If you have suggestions about if there's something you'd like to see, or if in past videos, if there's something you'd like me to demonstrate or go through, just send me a message or comment, and we'll do what we can. So thanks a lot, and we'll see you soon.